Hey y'all, how you doing? Grab yourself a pillow and a blanket and pull up a chair. Today it is story time. Okay. Uh, old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard mhm, to find her poor doggy a bone. Yeah. But when she bent over, Rover took over and give her a bone of his own. I'm joking. I'm joking. Hey, my old lady, say hi to her. Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
Yeah, yeah. She she knows I'm pretty crazy. Yeah. I've always called her old lady. Uh, you know, hell, she's called me a lot worse. Believe me. Matter of fact, she's even tried to hit me with a vehicle one time. Yeah, she caught me messing around on her. Yeah, she caught me with the woman across the road. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I know you're probably thinking across the street. What the hell are you doing across the street? I just I didn't have no gas and I couldn't go nowhere because you know. So I figured I'd just go across the street instead. But anyway, she caught me and then she tried to hit me with the damn. It was a van. That's what it was, and took the whole damn front porch off. Yeah. Now I don't think me calling her old lady means a doggone thing now, does it? I think she can handle herself, right? Yeah, there you go. Anyway, yeah, we met a long time ago and we split up here and there and stuff like that. But we're together now and we used to buy property, and I'll be timing property at one time. Yeah, and I used to buy fixer uppers, and I wouldn't even fix them up. What we would do, the things what we do, we would take and buy these fixer uppers up through the newspaper. And the first house we bought, and I'm gonna say the first one, the first piece of property we ever bought, uh, it was they was wanting like 37,000 for it, and I talked them down to 20,000, and they was wanting 7% financing, and I talked them down to 1% financing, and then after I done that, they was wanting 5,000 down and 400 a month, and I talked them down to 3,000 and 300 a month. Well, I took the very next day and put that same ad in the paper, and I said I'll buy the house. I said I'll give you the money tomorrow or something like that, and I was going to take the money over to her, and we done wrote up an agreement on it. And what I did, I put an ad. I went to my house, and I put the same ad in the paper, and I started getting hits the same damn day. And I turned around and sold the house for 37,000. And then I told them 7% financing, and it all worked out well because they done paid for the house for me, and I was taking their money and I was giving it to that woman, and that's how we got our first property, by the way. And when we started doing that, uh, we done sold it. Well, they stayed there for the whole time and paid the house off. Okay, and then I took her turned around and they split up. The couple what had the house, they split up and they gave me 5,000 down, and they was giving me what 400 a month was it? Yeah,
Yeah.
and at 7% financing, that's what they was doing. Well, when all this come about, they stayed there the whole time, bought the house for me, and they ended up getting divorced, and we had the house again. And then I turned around and did the same thing again as soon as they moved out, and got a call that day, same day they wanted the house. And I told them 5,000 down at 400 a month, and the house already paid then because the last couple paid for me. And then I turned around and done this thing about 5 times on this one house, and I done sold that house 5 times for 37,000 each time at 7% financing. When I got it for 20,000 and 1% financing, and it was a fixer upper. But see, a lot of people don't realize these fixer uppers. They think, oh, I'll fix this house up and I'll make a profit off it. But see, really, when it comes down to it, you don't even have to do that because the next person that comes along is going to think the same way, and all you have to do is buy that piece of property and say, hey, it's just a piece of rundown piece of shit. I'll buy it and I'll flip it either way. And so you take that house and I buy the house and then I turn around, put an ad in the paper, and you will get calls, even if you got the net. You can put it on the net too if you want, but you'll get calls and let them come say and tell them it's a fixer-upper. And you're always going to make a profit off it. Don't matter what. You can always make $10,000 profit or $5,000 profit. And some of the times when you fix your house up, by the time you get the money involved in it and everything, that's all you're going to make anyway. So you just wasted a whole bunch of time working on it and all that. So the best way to do it, if you're going to do property like that, go find you one. We buy houses and all that stuff like that, and get with that land contract stuff. Yeah, do that for your first home. Do the land contract thing and talk them down on the prices and the financing. Make sure there's no big time financing and have it written up in agreement. Okay, make sure you do that. I did another property like that in Sevierville, Tennessee, and at the time there were 3 trailers on it, and it had a communication tower on it and they paying what, $800 a month. Yeah. The communication tower, and the state was, and that would have actually paid for my property, each month, my mortgage. But what I done, I went to Love Homes and I had put in with the deal 15 double wides, and I got them for $12,000. Was it?
Yeah.
I got them all for $12,000. Yeah. And I had a guy going to cut in the land for 3 cases of beer with a Bobcat and set all the trailers up for me. And after I done that, all the woods in the back was hardwood, so I could sell it all, and so I could have all that cleared off, and so that would have paid off too. So, and then the $800 for the communication tower, and plus it already had 3 trailers on there, and it was around next to Pigeon Forge in Sevierville, and that's a tourist town. So they was going to be paying to live in the trailers for like $700 a month. Okay, so with $700 a month, then we had the property on top of it. The communication tower alone would pay for the property. But anyway, what happened was I had everything in my grasp, and I had to go in there with a live contract. And I went for it with a live contract. I talked to the people in general. I cut out the middleman like Century 21 and all that crap, and went there myself with a live contract. And I talked to them, and they said, "Yeah, sure, we'll sell the property." And I told them, I said, "Okay, I'll buy it, but it's pending." And they looked at me kind of strange. And we wrote the contract out, and I threw $1. Now they wanted $197,000 for this property, and I threw $1 on the table. They looked at me, started laughing, and said, "What the hell is this?" I said, "Well, to make it legal, you got to exchange earnest money, and so $1 or a quarter, it don't matter. To make it legal, it's got to exchange money. It don't matter how much." So he said, "Okay, I'll do it." So he wrote it off with $100, or not $100, but for $1. So I had the place pending for $1 and $197,000 for the property with the 3 trailers and a communication tower. Okay. So when all this came about, I sat there. I thought, hell yeah! I told her, I thought, we struck it big time here, and had the guy come in there, put the trailers in there for all them trailers and all that. And then I was going to run a perk test on the property, and you want to do that. You want to run perk tests and find out your zones and all that stuff like that too, And so we started doing that, and it didn't perk right. Okay, that communication tower had 3 tons of concrete in it, and I was going to set over how many trailers? 300. I was going to set about 300 trailers in that park. Yeah. And at the time, it didn't perk right, and I lost it. So my $1, I was pissed off, and I had a broker at the time too. And I told my broker, "I'm not going to lose my $1. He looked at me and said, "I'll give you $1. I said, "No, that ain't the point. I'm not going to lose my $1. And so instead, he said, "Well, okay." I said, "You better get on the phone and start calling around." And he started calling around, and he called some other investors. Okay. And he called these investors. They come up there in a big old limousine and all this stuff like that. And here I am in a Ford Explorer at the time, and jeans and t-shirt, and they walked the property, and they said, "I'll tell you what, we'll make a deal right now." I'm like, okay. And they come off, said, we'll make a bid of $1 million. I'm like, $1 million? Okay. That don't sound bad. And sure enough, They was going to give me $1 million for this property, and then they turned around and said, we got to run a perk test. I thought, oh shit, oh shit. You know, I was like, I done made a good one, this deal. And come to find out, they run a perk test. They were going to put a shopping mall on the place. That's what they was going to do. And it didn't run. So I never got my dollar back. But still, no, it was just $1. But still, no, that was $1 million. What pretty much went through my hand within a matter of minutes. You know, and then we was going to do buy some apartments one time, and there was efficiencies. They was like so many on one side. I think 10 on one side was it? Efficiencies on one side, and then one bedrooms on the other. And one guy met the other guy, or we were supposed to meet the guy who was selling it, and there was another guy with her to meet the same guy. And he started asking me, "What would you do?" And I said, "Well, first of all, I'm going to close around the 3rd. That way I can take everybody's rent and use that for the down payment." Okay, and I could have done that. And I was going to use that for that, and then I was going to fix the place up, kind of paint it a little bit, just freshen it up, blacktop it and everything, put a new gravel on top of the roof because it had gravel on top, and so I was going to re-gravel it and everything, and have it reappraised, and then I was going to take the loan off on the appraisal, and then just let my renters pay it off. Well, I told that guy that, and then somebody turned around and did exactly what I told him to do, and then he went and took an appraisal on it, and it appraised for $1 million. And the property, it was only, we was going to get it for dirt cheap, so cheap you'd be amazed. It was like what, 80 something, 89,000.
Yeah, 89,000.
That's what we was going to get for it, 89,000. And the son of a bitch, because it was that run down, you know, but it wasn't that rundown. It was just, it just looked shabby on the outside. It just needed cleaned up. And so the guy turned around and took my advice and took the apartments right from under me. I was hot, wasn't I? Oh, I was very mad because see that's was kind of stuff what I used to do all the time. I would take them, I'd buy houses, and I'd put renters in there, or I would either flip them or something like that. Now we still got property in Tennessee, and I came down here. We came down here on a whim at the time, and we just, you know, came on down here. I also had a trailer down that way, so I brought the trailer up this way at the time, and we dropped it anywhere we could find at the time. And so we was out in the country, and then finally I had enough of enough, and then I told her, I said, let's just go buy a house over here, because we had to find a good spot what we really wanted, and that's where I'm at right here in Greenville now. And now we got a house over here. We was going to buy a brand new at the time, but I told her there's no sense of it because you got all these you know, underground utilities and all that stuff. I don't want to pay for all that stuff like that, and HOA fees and all that crap. Homeowners Association. I don't want that stuff. I'd rather be in a middle working class neighborhood because then the people down to earth, and they're more funner, and plus they're older. It's more laid back around here because it's quiet because half the people are halfway dead anyway. So you know, but it's pretty nice, and you know, when I came to town, it really shocked this place. So I mean, they ain't used to me, but once in a while we'll do a barbecue almost every year, and the cops will come out and block my road off. Yeah, and we'll have the whole neighborhood and have a cookout, and I usually put the bill and everything, don't I? And we'll do barbecue and all that stuff, and we just have a big old spread, and probably, oh good lord, it could be like 200 something people in my front yard. Yeah, it's crazy, and when they smell the barbecue, boy, they sure come running. But anyway, you know, and like I said, it was a hobby of mine too, because I used to do competition and all that stuff like that, and I'm really competitive when it comes down to cooking. You know, like I told y'all, I was a cook. You know, for Alan Jackson, the country singer, you know, for Pigeon Forge, he had a restaurant over there, and plus I cooked at Holiday Inns and 5-star restaurants and stuff. But my passion for cooking wise is just the old time Southern food though. I like my soup, beans, and potatoes, and stuff like that. You know, I like potatoes with my fried up in bacon grease and onion and all that stuff like that. You know, you can't get no better than stuff like that. Soup bean, your cornbread, yeah. That's that kind of stuff I grew up on. You know, I even grew up on neck bones and pig ears. Yeah, pig ears. Have you ever had a pig ear? Yeah, try that on. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna get off here. I'm about to run out of time, and so I guess I'll talk to y'all later. This is Debbie Lynn and the old lady come from Greenville,
South Carolina.